Welcome back. You're still watching the Daily Debate, and I am honored to be having with me over the program for tonight Dr. Nabil Abdel, the strategic planning expert. Thank you very much for being with us tonight.
It's my pleasure being with you and your audience.
Anytime. Dr. Nabil, as we did see in the past report, the main topic for today is the Suez Canal Economic Zone and, of course, the services that we supply to the ships as well. The first in Africa, in Egypt, in the Middle East, in terms of supplying the vessels or the ships with the green fuel or the methanol. First of all, how do you see the importance of the Suez Canal Economic Zone in general as a potential project?
Actually, Suez Canal, since it has been built in ancient times, very long ago, it has a very good and strategic locations between East and West.
Yes.
It has been facilitating the trade and has been a very crucial part for global trade between East and West, and so on, Europe and Indians and so on.
Yes.
Oceans, Pacific Ocean, facilitating the routes and short routes always between instead of the Hope Bay. It has been a very good link always at all times. This is the Suez Canal, the new Suez Canal with the special economic zone which has been built a few years ago. That has added an added value for the growth of the Egyptian economy actually.
Yes.
Especially when you see that lots of attractions has been there, lots of benefits, advantages, government and the entity of the Suez Canal has been offering for the investors from what countries.
Yes.
And even the governments of different countries has been participating in investing in that area in different industries, trying to make use of the very strategic locations and the new services which the authority has been offering and Egypt has been offering.
Yes, Doctor, you mentioned a very important point, is that Egypt nowadays, under the tenure of President Abdel al-Sisi, we're trying to be maximizing to the limit the benefits that we have in terms of location and more specifically the seaports that we have, because we were speaking about East Port Said port, for example, where this incident took place. How do you see this process in terms of maximizing the potentials that we have?
Maximizing potentials, which has been under process for a few years ago.
Yes.
And we have started to see the fruits of the procedures which has been started under the auspices. President Abdel al-Sisi. Actually, it adds a lot of advantages for Egypt and for the Egyptian economy in the meantime. Seaports connects Egypt and connects the world together, links Egypt by world trade and global trade, links Egypt by the benefits and mutual benefits between Egypt and some other countries, especially when you see that the first and the biggest shipping vessel has been passing using the green fuel few days ago.
Yes. You mentioned the advantages that we are having nowadays in terms of maximizing the potentials economically here in the country. But I would like to take the other point of view, someone who is living outside of Egypt, maybe one of the Egyptian expatriates, a potential investor coming from outside of the country. How does he look into Egypt in terms of potentially investing into the country? Does he have advantages, potentials? Does he have good opportunities, benefits, incentives?
Yes, actually he does have. When you look into the worldwide problems currently, which has been raised as a result for the COVID-19 and for the Russian-Ukrainian war and the crisis of the economy, the inflation, which has been spread worldwide, and even if there is an inflation in Egypt, but still there is very potential opportunities
Yes.
already existed in Egypt, especially in the special economic zone, in Suez Canal Special Economic Zone. In that area, the COVID-19 crisis and even the crisis of the Russia and Ukraine has proved that if you've been there in that special economic zone, producing or providing services, if you are there, that means you are in the middle of the world, in the middle of the world trade, in the middle of the global trade. That means producing there, manufacturing there, offering services from there. That means you are having, in addition to the benefits and advantages which the Suez Canal Authority is offering, but still you are experiencing a wonderful opportunity for your business and getting the maximum out of your business and your investment.
Yes, regarding the Suez Canal Economic Zone and the East Port Said port, we have seen the incident of supplying the ship with methanol or the green fuel for the vessel that took place, I think, on Friday for about 6 hours in East Port Said port, which is the first time at the Suez Canal Economic Zone in Africa, in Egypt and in the Middle East. Such a piece of news, how do you think this could be attracting the vessel owners or the containers coming from all over the world or passing through the Suez Canal to be supplied with green fuel or the other fuels, types of fuels as well?
Firstly, let's refer to the Sharm el-Sheikh COP27 conference which has been held.
Yes.
And we have been waiting and we've been talking and saying and telling and saying everywhere that there are fruits for that conference. This is the fruit, a piece of very small fruit from that conference.
Yes.
The green energy. You can imagine that, not imagine, we are saying that we are having a strategic location. Currently, we are having a strategic location. We are having strategic commodities. We are, which is the green fuel, the green energy. We are supplying. We are not only providing shipping services or just a passway or passage.
Yes.
We are providing the future energy. We are here, so please, we are waiting for you.
Yes, exactly. You mentioned something important regarding the memorandum of understanding and the agreements that took place regarding or during the COP27 here in Egypt in the past month of November or the past year as well. The green hydrogen, the green ammonia plants, we have been hearing about all of this over the past 6 or 7 months. But what is the importance of being a part, for Egypt, being a part of such an agreement, such benefits that could be taking advantage or giving advantage to the passing ships or the ships even that could be docking here in the ports of Egypt?
It's not only that, but also you can be considered that you are looking for being a hub for the green energy supply for such services. It's not only a shipping service again, it's a fuel. This is the future fuel. So considering and providing such a service, that means you are saying to the world, you are telling the world, don't worry, Egypt is here. We are dominating not only strategic locations, but also for your fuel, which is considered cheaper. And don't worry, we got your back covered, as we used to say in English.
Yes, it could be more sustainable for the future as well.
It is the fruit. That's why I'm saying this is the fruit of the conference. And as long as you have already started, you will hear in the next few weeks, few days, few months, whatsoever the period, and accumulative success and growth for such a projects, and lots of bilateral agreements will be signed later from different countries for enjoying such services, which will make Egypt, and hope that will happen, the hub for the green energy supply.
Yes. In terms of the renewable energy resources that we have here abundantly in the country, do you think that Egypt could be a global pioneer in this field, especially in the fields of solar energy and wind energy?
We got actually lots of production and preparation for a long time for such renewable energy resources, which already we are having right here, and we are trying to experience our expertise in such sector for building up the necessary infrastructure required for such renewable.
Is it expensive to be building the infrastructure? Because under the tenure of President Assisi, we have seen a new capital, new cities altogether, bridges everywhere, construction is going on everywhere. But the infrastructure for this field of energy, I think it is totally different. Do we have what it takes in terms of money, to be specific? Because it needs investment.
It is expensive, but it deserves. It's worthy. It's
for the future.
It's worthwhile because you're not building for 1 year, you're not building for one sector, you're not building not only for Egypt, you are building for the future of the of our kids, of our children, of our future children, future generations. You are building for this. So it's not, in this case, in this regard, it's not expensive. But if you have looked into how much would it cost right now, yes, it is expensive. But you are building for the future, you're not building for now. And when you build such a type of energy, it's energy. Energy, that means life. Without energy means nothing.
Yes.
So you are building for better life. Maybe we are experiencing few problems right now, but for the future it would be
in terms
better.
of distributing, not generating.
You have been telling me, you have been talking right now, you have mentioned infrastructure for roads, constructions,
yes,
and all such projects. It's all integrated. So when you integrate such projects with the energy, renewable energy, with the green energy.
The Suez Canal, the new Suez Canal, the Suez Canal economic zone as well. Do you think they could be benefiting from the renewable energy, the idea of renewable energy for the people passing by, for the ships passing by, and for the whole governorates as well related to the Suez Canal?
Definitely, yes. It's not only whom are passing by. You are connecting yourself right now with with the neighborhood countries, even with Europe, for the energy, whatever the source of the energy is. I believe this is what Egypt is looking for. Egypt, under the presidency of President Abdel Sisi, is looking for being a hub for the energy for the neighborhood countries, and connecting yourself, connecting your economy, connecting and linking your benefits and advantages with Europe, Africa, Arabs, your borders. This is very smart.
In terms of renewable energy and the sustainable development goals that we have here in the country, we have the aim of about generating electricity from the renewable sources to be becoming by 2035 to 42%. Do you think it is an ambitious goal, or we could be going there?
Definitely will be, not could be. Definitely will be. Because actually we have started a few years ago, and we are working as planned.
Yes.
And I believe the success which we have reached till this year, I believe it's as planned.
Regarding the infrastructure projects that we have here, regarding the energy projects that we have here in the country as well, and for the main topic for today, the green fuel projects, the green hydrogen, the green ammonia, we need partnerships with the private sector. We need partnerships with investors coming from outside of Egypt. And as we did see for the ship or the vessel that witnessed this incident over the 6 hours operation, or the 6-hour operation, the company was Maersk. in cooperation with, of course, Egypt. So this is the private sector cooperating with the government. How do you see the potential fruits of such a partnership, not just with this company, with other companies from Egypt, from within Egypt, from Africa, from the Middle East, from everything and everywhere that is going on around the Suez Canal Economic Zone and potentially the world?
Let's confirm the following. Let's agree on the following.
Yes.
Whenever you start something new, whenever you start building infrastructure for a potential and very crucial projects like the renewable energy,
yes,
and the green energy or green fuel, the world watches you,
yes,
and the world wait and see what are you going to do, where you've been ending.
They're waiting for the results.
Yeah, correct.
Not the ambitions, not the plans.
No.
We need to see results.
They don't care about your ambitions. They see the results.
Yes.
Whenever they started to see results, actual results on the ground, that means you have succeeded. After that, you will find lots of success, lots of partners, strategic partners coming over to you, discussing, trying to partner with you. You would be able to choose whomever you want according to the ambitious and to the vision which you want to start, which you want to reach in the future.
Yes, Dr. Nabil Abdel Moula, turning to the other report of the daily debate for tonight, which is the digital transformation and how it could be optimizing and developing the Suez Canal Economic Zone as it develops the whole of Egypt at the same time. We'll be having more details regarding this potential experiment in the Suez Canal Economic Zone in the upcoming report, so stay tuned.
The Economic and Social Development Plan for the fiscal year 2022-2023 revealed the continuation of development efforts for the economic zone of the Suez Canal to maximize economic returns from it. The plan is based on two main pillars, the first of which is accelerating the pace of digital transformation to link all parties concerned with investing in the economic zone electronically, where customs release procedures are simplified and facilitated for exporting the region's products, whether for the internal or external market. The first pillar also aims at activating express shipping service by expanding the establishment of specialized logistic areas for international shipping line companies and warehouses for the region. The development plan further clarifies the second pillar, which is to stimulate the industrial and technological settlement of specialized international companies through packages of financial and tax facilities and incentives provided by the region. It targets in particular encouraging companies that have suspended their activities in conflict areas due to Russian-Ukrainian crisis to resettle their activities in the Suez Canal Economic Zone, in addition to attracting other companies specialized in some industries targeted to be resettled in the region: energy industries, green hydrogen, and food and pharmaceutical industries, textiles, ready-made clothes, and information technology. This comes within a package of elements of the Suez Canal Authority strategy during the new fiscal year 2022-2023, where the authority is committed during the year of the plan to activate all elements and pillars of the Sustainable Development Strategy for activities and projects of the Suez Canal Authority and Economic Zone, and delivered the Economic and Social Development document submitted by Minister of Planning Dr. Hala Said and approved by both chambers of parliament. The Suez Canal contributes to receiving huge tankers and giant ships, where about 10% of the total global trade movement passes through it, about 25% of the total global movement of containerized goods, and almost 100% of the total seaborne container trade between Asia and Europe. This pivotal activity of the Suez Canal is due to its being the shortest and cheapest link between East and West, as it saves time and distance for the transiting ships and consequently a reduction in fuel and operating costs, which gives the canal a competitive advantage towards other alternative shipping lanes. At the level of the national economy, the Suez Canal is one of the main sources of foreign exchange generation, as it generates annual revenues of about $6 billion.
Welcome back. You're still watching the Daily Debate, and I am honored to be having with me over the program for tonight Dr. Nabil Abdel Moula. As we did see in the past report, the importance of digital transformation or digitizing the whole process at the Suez Canal Economic Zone. I would like to take it a step further in general, because in Egypt we like having a digital revolution in the country in terms of the errands that we used to make in hours and hours all over the week. We are just needing less and less time over the past couple of years to be consuming and to be finishing our errands. So how do you see the digital transformation in general in the country? And of course it would be reflected on the Suez Canal Economic Zone.
The digital transformation of the country, we do have the infrastructure required for that. We do have the mentality, which is the infrastructure consists of two parts actually.
Yes.
Consists of the mentality, and the hardware and the facilities required by or being supported by the government itself.
Yes.
We do have both. Maybe it's not being too fast. Maybe it's not being on the pace of the required progress, but still we are doing fine. Talking about digital transformation, as you have mentioned, and as the report has mentioned right here, it means less efforts for errands, for having the required services, and much more efforts to be invested in work and economy.
Yes.
Less in cost relatively, and high in profits relatively. When this, especially when we reflect the digital transformation for the Suez Canal Special Economic Zone, we have to connect it and link it to the worldwide countries also. If we have to talk about Europe, US, and digital systems are being handled over there and being managed and being provided, and most of the advanced world are working by digital phases right now.
Yes.
That means you are telling the world also, I'm up to the standard, I'm right here, I'm ready for you, I'm doing whatever you're doing right there. That means whenever you're coming, you don't have to wait till somebody comes, get off or step off, and then everything is being doing digital. It's digitalized. That means less in time, more less in cost, more in profits, and much more time to be exerted in other economic growth.
In terms of economic trade between Egypt and the other countries, do you think it could be increasing the trade exchange between Egypt and the other outside countries?
That actually has started this year, and the year before. According to the digital transformation has been created and done here in Egypt, that has been reflected for the exports from Egypt to the worldwide countries, because the world again is a very small village.
Yes.
By digital transformation, the translation of digital transformation reflected whatever you are doing right here, it will be reflected immediately at the same time, at the same minute, on the other part of the world. Yes. Of course.
What is the importance of renovating and upgrading the land ports, the sea ports, even the land ports? We have one in Al Ain al Sukhna and 6th of October, the seaports, as I mentioned, the East Port Said port, the airports in general, even for tourism, they have been upgraded in terms of the Sphinx Airport, for example. What is the importance of upgrading those ports in general, land, sea and air?
More trade facilities, less cost in every aspect of life and trade, higher profits, more traffic of people and trade, and repositioning for Egypt the way it should be.
About 90% of the Egyptian trade exchange with the other countries is focused on the sea ports. How do you think we should be developing even more the seaports in specific to be gaining, as you mentioned, more money economically and more benefits for the future?
Digital transformation should be 100% digitalized. If we could reach to the 100% digitized for the services in the seaports, that means you are attracting all the most of the global trade, in addition, of course, to other factors which we're not talking right now about. But digital transformation is the secret, the key word here.
Yes, in 2030, or in Egypt here, we have the Egypt 2030 Sustainable Development Agenda for the country. How do you think this agenda is going? Because we're in 2023 now, about 3 or 4 months going into 2024 as well. So this means we have about 5 or 6 years to be achieving what we have wanted by the end of the timeline in 2030. What are the measures that have been taken, and what are the measures that you anticipate would be taken by Egypt?
We are working as planned, but maybe we are behind the plan due to the crisis of COVID-19 and due to the Russian-Ukrainian or Ukrainian-Russian war.
Yes.
Due to the economy worldwide, inflation and problems. But still we are, although we are behind a little bit, but as planned, but we are in progress. We are doing progress.
For Alexandria in specific, and you know about the ports of Alexandria like Ad-Dikhila port, like Al-Maks port as well, how do you think we should be maximizing the benefits of the 3 or the Alexandria Great Ports projects for the future here in the country to be having more economic benefits for Alexandria in specific and for Egypt in general?
Actually, there are two ways should be done.
Yes.
Firstly, the infrastructure for the road and construction of the roads, which is already has been done, I think. And secondly, the digital transformation, which on which the 2 ports or the 3 ports over there should be experiencing and should be implementing in the meantime. And I think they have reached to 60 or 70% of the required digital transformation for such ports and linking them with each other.
Yes, Dr. Nabil Abdel, the strategic planning expert. Thank you very much for being with us tonight on the Daily Debate.
It was my pleasure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime.
Thanks for being with you.
And this brings us to the end of the Daily Debate for tonight. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.